it's climbing or to beat them in the thermal, but try to be first to the deck, to the top. Sorry. This is an exercise that it requires a lot of observation of all the pilots that are in front of the takeoff, that can check that you can see who is climbing better, or you're already in a thermal, you move to a next one, and it can be quite fun knowing that you climbed first, because then when you have a comp, it can help you a lot. Touch and go, it's a game that often we play to do with my students, to do top landings in a in 2 hours, to do as more top landings as possible. This is combining a lot of stuff. First of all, you need to have a good takeoff, of course. Find the thermal from low, climb high, and then come for approach for a top landing. Here you develop your skills of flying the wing, really using the whole range of the glider, uh, know how to land properly and difficult conditions, and then take off again. Sometimes can be windy, sometimes can be zero wind, but then you train also the takeoffs a lot. You train the landings, you train using your full brake range, and you train the thermaling, and you need to thermal fast to make more top landing. It's a really cool game to play if you're few people. Um, in terms of making your own tasks, often we can see you have to go to work, and then after work you have some 2 hours for flying, but it's like, okay, it's not enough to do cross country. I will just fly around. No need. You can fly. You can make your time limit for the day that you fly, and try to fly as many kilometers as possible into that time, and come back to the takeoff or to your car. It's a very useful. It's motivating, and makes you think how to fly faster. Headwind task, I tend to do this because not having too much time with students and stuff like that. Often I fly into wind, where you can fly for 30 k's, but in reality it's the same training that you did for 60 k's downwind or something like that. This keeps your skills on flying on speed bar very current, because because you have to use it a lot, and also you have to look for more thermal. You have to keep the height above certain level to not go too low, because the thermals are too drifted and stuff like that. And the last game that probably combines most of the things that you need for a comp, and still keeps you around takeoff, close, that if you bomb out, you can come up and try it again, and not lose the day for nothing, because if you land somewhere on cross country where it's difficult to retrieve, your day is gone. It's a height game task. So make yourself a limit of the height that you want to reach that day. For example, 1,500 meters, and always keep it as your cloud base 1.5. So you reach a thermal, you go 1.5, you continue. This makes it very interesting, because even often works nicely with a triangle task, if you have the opportunity to do that. It makes it cool because you do everything same as proper long task flying, but you need to do it more often and double the work. So you climb faster, but then you glide more often, so you need you will train your gliding on speed bar or just current gliding. Then you have to think of thermal markers much earlier and much more. So you need for the same flight, you need maybe 30 thermals instead of 10 if you go all the way to cloud base and just glide. And this makes it quite interesting to reach some task or some goal without making too high, but also makes your training triple the size than if you flew normally from thermal to thermal with long glides and not really needing to check the thermal triggers all the time and stuff like that. So yeah, these are games that I'll already tried. I fly them a lot, having limited time and place, and also I guess not many people have the opportunity to fly far because of expenses and retrieval and organization. To you have to be with other people, somebody to bring you back and stuff like that. I think it's a very interesting to do it, and for sure you will be not bored, and you will have something to talk about with the beer later, even if you didn't make the longest task on the ICSE contest or something like that. Yeah, that's all about it.
Questions? Yeah, no questions. Any questions? Uh, Maybe one for me. uh, like I said at the beginning, you are doing also the accuracy landing. You mentioned a little bit, but anyway, do you think that this is some positive side also for the cross country or not? You said sometimes it is, but maybe if you can speak more about it.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, going on competitions in accuracy, it's a bit different. You need a special glider, lower class glider than you have, and stuff like that. But the techniques that you use to land accurate are very useful for your own flying, for sure. Often, this will help you. Definitely will help you, mostly with low saves, because you can go to areas where you cannot go if you are not that good at landing. And often this can mean the difference between continuing the task or just landing short and finishing after 1 hour of flying. It's very important to keep in mind that accuracy or stuff like that is not. Many people think that it's all about keeping the glider on the stall point and stuff like that. That doesn't matter at all. It's you need to train it in order to learn how your glider reacts on your movements, how it gains speed, or how much speed you have once you release your hands, and how much dives to reach a certain spot of landing. There is a but also what is more important, because to land, usually everywhere where you can land, it should be around 20 meters to 20 meters, and that's not that difficult to manage if you try at least on every your landing to do it. But more important, I think, for the cross-country flying is to get used to flying in not ideal conditions, and as I mentioned, training with side wind landing or backwind landing when it's weak, of course, at the beginning. It will help you a lot gaining confidence, so you don't matter if the place is slightly on the edge, or it will also help keep you safer and gain confidence for the when you get on a comp. To often on the flats we have people that they go up from very low above a village where the landings are super limited, and many pilots that are okay, that they are able to climb from that low, they are able to use that thermal. They don't go there just because of the landing. They don't feel okay, and it's pity to lose your whole flight, or to use your result just because you didn't want it to even try how to land properly at the end of your flight. And these are not things that you need to spend too much time. It's just you can think of them and do them on every normal flight when you go free flying.
Any more questions? Thank you, Martin.